Welcome to Art Byte, short encounters with a collection of the Marianna Kistler Beach Museum of Art. I'm Catherine Slogic. I'm the Associate Curator of Education at the museum, and today I would like to share with you a crest mask called Tyi Wara or Tyi Wara, made by the Bambara people of Mali. The Bambara or Bamana people make up about 80% of the population of Mali. You can see from the map that they are located in the southwestern section of Mali, near the Niger River. Their life revolves around agriculture. Their villages are made up of about 60-ish families, and then the villages are pulled together under a dominant family called a fama, um, that kind of pulls them all together. The name Bambara or Bamana actually means believer or infidel. And the name was given to them in 1854 when when the Sunni Muslims came in and they resisted that. Um, they are a royal section of the earlier Mandinka tribe, which can trace back to about 7,000 years ago. The headdresses that we are looking at are part of Tyi Wara. And according to the Bambara legend, Tyi Wara used his antlers and a pointed stick to dig into the earth, making it possible for man to cultivate the land. They watched Tyi Wara, then learned how to cultivate. Tyi Wara used his hoofs to cover the seeds. And the Bambara farms became very, very bountiful. They grow millet, they grow banana nuts, and a number of other different crops. They wasted it because it was so easy to do, and Tyi Wara grew disappointed and buried himself in the earth. This disturbed the elders of the Bambara, who regretted that they had lost him. They ordered that a mask be made in memory of Tyi Wara to honor him for teaching them how to farm the land. And so many elaborate headdresses have been created in his honor. There are several different styles of these headdresses. There is one that is more sort of abstract, which you see on the right. There are the vertical ones that come from sort of the central region, and then there are also horizontal ones. Um, we'll talk a little bit more about the symbolism. They are danced in pairs. So you're seeing here a mother and father pair, and the mother always has a baby on her back. Symbolism-wise, they come from several different animals. The roan antelope is the model for the male Tyi Wara. And you can see the curving horns on the male roan antelope in the top left corner. The female is based on the oryx, and they have straight horns. And then the bodies are based on the aardvark or the pangolin. And the idea is that these animals all have something to do with digging in the earth. Additional symbolism comes in the mane on the male Tyi Wara, which is supposed to symbolize the rays of the sun. And then the baby on the back of the female is supposed to symbolize the idea of birth or humankind, humanity. So these are some details from ours. You can see that they also have a lot of crisscrossing and carving on them. And then the horns are supposed to be symbolic of the millets, of the millet plant, the grain plant. They are always danced in pairs. The crest mask is actually attached to the head on a cap. And so you can see the female on the left here is attached to a woven cap, and then there is raffia hanging down. And the raffia is symbolic of rain. And then again, you can also see that the male Tyi Wara is quite definitely male. The Bamana dances start out in the fields. They use the sticks to poke into the ground. They're danced by farmers of the Tyi Wara society. And one of the things to understand about the Bamana is that they participate in ancestor worship. So the idea is that if somebody passes away, they stay in the village. And to do that, they have to have a place to reside, a boli. And so these masks hold the spirit of Tyi Wara. The belief is that once the masks are put on and the rest of the costume is added, that there is a ritual of transformation and that those ancestor spirits take over the people that are wearing the masks. So the masks for the Tyi Wara Society, which is a secret society, um, is worn by the best and most productive farmers in the agricultural society. Once they have worked in the fields, then they move their way into town. Um, the tradition is very, very old, but by the late 1970s, the performances are becoming more of a celebration or a masquerade and not so much of a serious religious idea. And even the masks themselves have been made for sale or trade. Our mask came to our collection, we believe, through somebody who was a case stater who had spent time in Africa. And we do have many, many people in our agricultural department that go to Africa to help with learning more about agriculture. You can also see in the picture on the right, once they're in the village, you can see a number of instruments. So there would be music that would go along with this ceremony, and then the women would do the singing for the ceremony. So as we take a last look at our Tyi Wara mask, I invite you to think about celebrations that are common to our society to celebrate harvest, and some of the things that are symbolic as part of those celebrations. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this Art Bite.